Alright, the best thing I love about this guy is from the main menu, we go and there's an F camera input, which is a front camera input, but we put it in the rear. So now I can watch my car go while I'm going down the road. The reverse gear is a separate input. Good morning, guys. Welcome to another video on Third Pedal Media. Today, we are going to do something really cool. I'm installing an Android radio in the Titan. I will show you a couple tips and tricks during the install that you can apply to other trucks. But first, let's go over the smorgasbord of stuff we have here to work with. We have our radio. On these trucks, the center console is so large, a regular doubled-in looks anorexic. So I opted for the 10.1 screened doubled-in radio. The body of the radio fits inside a doubled-in section, but the screen clips on outside and you could actually rotate it a little bit. But after all, we'll see how it works out. We have the assorted harnesses for the aforementioned Android radio. We got two backup cameras, so the crimps and cutters, our dash kit, our harness to connect to the OEM wiring, and these two things are something really cool. This is an experiment, so I don't want to mention what we're doing this yet, so stick around and find out. I will give you a hint. It may save us from having to need a steering wheel control module. Also, this is another optional part for the rear of the truck. We are going to utilize that for tapping some wires. Instead of butchering and cutting into the factory wiring, that is an intersect harness that also can expand other functionalities for truck accessories. So stick around. Let's see if these two additions, these two optional additions, save us time and money. First things first, as we jump in here, we need to remove the center console with the radio. And to do that with this Titan, we're going to use a simple pick. Now in this part of the video, this one is application specific, but you could always go ahead and look up how to remove your radio. An old forum post is really good. There's some YouTube video shorts and stuff. But let's go ahead, let's pull this radio out and continue. First thing, we might need to get rid of this. And because we don't want to scrape and damage anything, we take a little rubber cap, put it on here. Nice and safe. So we take our pick tool and find a little gap. See right here? You're going to just kind of pull that a little bit. Get a gap and then snake it up the side. Turn to the side and pull. Oh, that didn't work out good. Let's try this again. Go up into the gap. And we pull this side. There we go. Do the same thing with the other side. Because the clip is in the middle. Okay. The radio there. But I just remembered something. I broke a cardinal rule. If you're messing with anything electrical, step number one, undo the battery. Got this tiny little pliers. Push out a little bird beak. Get that out, so see. There we go. Kind of cumbersome. So that's the two HVAC controls. Then we have our mic input. And there we have our airbag light. So now we grab our 8mm and take off the 4 studs on the head unit itself. So now we have everything out. We have all our connectors, HVAC connectors, we have our passenger airbag, we have our main harness connectors here. What I love about this truck is it uses a standard universal antenna connector, so we don't need to have an OEM conversion cable. We do have some extra harnesses here, and we only need 2 of them. 2 of them for the wires, power, illumination, everything like that. And hopefully we have that 24-pin connector that will work, so we could actually sniff the signal from our steering wheel controls, and we wouldn't have to buy no expensive switch box like we used to do back in the day. Now, before we do any harness work, we want to go ahead and just test fit our harnesses. We have the 24-pin connector here that we're going to use to sniff the steering wheel controls, and then we have our main Metro kit here for the radio. First of all will be these 2. It looks like, is this the side that's going to clip on? Nope, here. So we have that connected there, and have that connected there. So everything, I will put links in the description. So now we have our radio harnesses found. This guy was tucked on the bottom here. Here's our 24-pin that connects right in. So we will go ahead and don't forget our antenna. Let's kind of straighten that guy out. He's kind of all quarter out. So we have, here's our 4 connections for the radio. Audio channels plus power and switch and steering wheels, and then antenna. Antenna is your ground. So if you're testing and you don't connect your antenna, you will not get a ground to run the radio. Antenna is your ground, remember that. So there are many harnesses with this kit: backup sensors, 4G antennas, SIM card connections, USB cables, stereo output, working with the main harness. The main harness is the F harness. On the F harness here, you can see it has all the different connections, all the positives, the right, left, and stuff like that. So we're going to cut this ISO connector off. I have yet to see anything that plugs into here. We have all of our other connections, like our grounds, the steering wheel control, the reverse trigger, and stuff like that. So we're going to cut this off, and we're going to terminate these together and create a nice little T-harness.
Infinity.
I want to show the harness and the connections we're doing before we did our heat shrinking and before we put our tester tape on. Here we have the plug that's going to the back of the stereo. Everything pretty much lined up color for color. We have our aftermarket kit to go into the factory harness. Where we're different is this kit has a separate input for a front camera. This front camera is connected here. We're going to power that front camera. I've spliced in the accessory line, and the accessory line is going to be given this front camera power whenever the car is on, because this front camera, we could just toggle a button and that turns the input on to show us. It goes all the way back here. This is like a convenience wire that's in the same harness. That is going through this long jumper to the back of the camera here. When we put this up at the third brake light, the cargo light, all we need to do is just terminate the ground. We need to find a ground and terminate the ground. That's it. We don't need to do anything with the power, because once again, the power is coming in from this side. I'll just ground this probably somewhere up in the cabin. So I take care of the cargo camera. Over here, we have our regular reverse camera. Reverse camera is a separate harness also. It has the input here. It's connected to the main harness by the reverse trigger. Things to note: the power on the auxiliary camera is flowing from the harness out to the camera. On the reverse side, we're doing it essentially in reverse. We need to send a 12-volt trigger into the stereo, and that lets the stereo know to switch on that camera. And that's where this comes in. This is an intermediate jumper for the 7-pin connector in most trucks. Newer trucks I've read a little different. This is an 08, so it is going to work. This plugs in between, passes through. And then on this side, we have a regular 4-pin connector, but we also have a reverse tap. So this is going to be our reverse signal. It's going to supply power into this harness. Then we'll do a chassis ground. So when you put the car in reverse, this wire on this harness is going to get energized and it's going to power the camera, as well as send a signal all the way back to here, which sends the 12 volt out into the radio harness and tells the radio, hey, we're in reverse, switch your input. A lot of people tap their rear brake lights. I saw the option of this harness and I really liked it, because if you want to run a light bar or probably auxiliary reverse light, we have a nice heavy gauge to run extra stuff. We have our plug, run different accessories. So this opens up a lot of things. It wasn't that much. The money we saved in the steering wheel control harness, we put it into there. And we still didn't even spend the full $80. Speaking of steering wheel control, here is the harness there. I am going to still need to connect the ground. I have the ground wire here.
Infinity.
Now you're looking at this method and you're thinking, man, that's madness. But just look at those ends and look at those crimps. How nice and minimalist they are. Yes, a lot of people use solder and heat shrink. That's a great option too. A lot of people use butt connectors. I don't like that. That adds a ton of bulk. And then a lot of people, they use the little one-sided butt connector. That one side is sealed and the other side's open. That's usable too. It's just a lot in a dashboard. It's a big truck, but in some cars it's really tight. It's really tiny. So I just like to take the extra effort and just try to make my harness as small as possible. All right, this mess is done. We are ready. We have cable tied everything. We use flush cutters because we're not savages. Main radio harness. Go into OEM connector. That is going to the radio for the reverse camera input. Put some tester tape on there so it won't come loose. This is that 24-pin connector we're hopefully going to be able to get our steering wheel controls off of. Add an extra ground for behind the radio. Here is the harness to get amps and also the auxiliary secondary camera. There's the harness for that. That's going hopefully on the brake light. And then here's the wire for the reverse cam that we're going to put this Y harness for the 7-pin connector and get our ground signal.
Infinity.
Tedious. Not a pain, but tedious. Got the HVACs over, got the airbag light over, we got our push pins in. We followed the push pins that was on the factory one. The instructions didn't say anyhow, so just follow the push pins on the factory. This was a pain in the butt because of this whole screen. Normally it would just be a double DIN setup and it would be pretty easy, but trying to finagle this whole system in around this screen was tedious. I don't think I'm going to attempt installing this by myself. I'm going to need someone to help hold the screen while we connect everything up and bolt this in. Because after we do that, then we got to slip the connectors onto the HVAC on, slip this on, and then finally we can get the screen on. So all that juggling, and I need 2 more hands.
Infinity.
Now, if I dangle this surround on, connect up the airbag light. So handy, this knobs come in from not scratching anything up. Definitely when you take your thing out, go ahead and put it on there, your shifter. The screen's in the way. I need to see this plug. There we go, got some more length. Put that there. That's there. Now, all we need to do is push the surround on. And press it into place. Wow, look at that! That looks cool. Let me move it around. Look at that stuff. It looks nice. It's not that bad fitting. The color is close. Everything seems secure. We'll have to put that sticker on last. Let's go and get the screen open. And wham! Look at that. What'd you think, Zave?
It's good. It's big.
Yeah. Pull these tabs back and slide this down. And there we go. So it is blocking a little bit visibility from there, but I think it could go up, can't it? There we go, yeah. Yeah. So now, right, there we go. Now we have full visibility of the controls. We have that there. I have my wireless charger right here. I may just have to stick it over there a little bit. So I have that view. That's kind of cool. What do you think, guys? Put in a comment so far. Oh my goodness. That's actually kind of rad, huh? And it's wireless CarPlay, but I have the cable there for need to, and we have physical buttons. And these buttons are programmable. Okay, let's try it out. Cross your fingers, no magic smoke. Oh, that was quick. She's up. Volume works. I don't think I have anything there. Do we have radio? Oh, that beep. I need to take that beep off. Wow, that's annoying. Where's radio? Radio. Nice. So that's working. I just got to play with a lot more settings now. Got to do the pain in the butt part of routing wires, GPS, mic, and the 2 cameras. Okay, let's try this wheel study thing. Go into apps, wheel study. Let's see what we want to do. We have volume. So let's do press any key to learn. Select a feature to study. Oh, it wasn't lighting up before. Check out. Figure it out. Let's just turn it off first. See that? A long press will turn it off. How cool is that? We got our volume. See our volume there? Up and down. We got our mode. Just turn on the radio.
That's OLE South.
Let's mute that. So that's muted. Then we have our advance forward or back. So no need to pay $80 for a steering wheel control module. Hit up these guys. I'll put the website down here. Great customer service. They custom made that harness for me for this application. So they have a lot of wiring diagrams for Subaru, Nissan, and Toyota. Hit them up. No need to buy a whole expensive steering control module learn thingy thing. Come back and show you how I snaked the wire, but I wanted to show you this part in the rear, how we're going to tap for the reverse. Go ahead and take that connector off. Ready, put on some dielectric grease in here. Go ahead and put in our Y. Make sure it clicks in good. All right, put this side over here. We need to do some cable management, but now we have our 12-volt signal for reverse, and I will ground on the chassis. Okay, using my phone for this one, it's kind of late. I need a wide angle because it's kind of low under here. Got everything tucked in, the Y spliced into the factory connector, and then the other side here. Actually ran the camera wire all the way through the chassis frame, and on the exposed side we have this split loom. Cable managed everything. Still got access to the 4-pin if we need any accessories like a light bar or anything like that. But right here is the white wire from the reverse line. Camera wire went in there and went all the way down, snaked in. Took down the dash under there, ran my wires through some more split loom, ran everything nice and neat. Put the mic in the corner here. You're always looking forward when you're driving, so let's talk forward. Tried up here one time and it just didn't pick up well, so just keep the mic forward. Have to put that back together. Ran the 2 cameras down here. One of the cameras still loose that we're going to use for the cargo. End up drilling a hole. Yes, scary, scary. I drilled a hole in the cab. There was a hole underneath that seat mount all there, but then exposed wires going across and rubbing. There's a hole at the back of the cab where there's a grommet in there, but just to get to it is a pain in the butt. I just decided right here, drill a hole, I put a grommet, I'm going to seal it out properly with silicone, and then under here you'll see another reason why I did that. It's going straight from that hole right there from the cab into the A-frame. So I'm going to put another piece of split loom to protect the wire while it's transferring here. I probably zip tie it up, make sure it's out of the way, and seal it up, make sure no water goes in. I think that was a good solution. Let me know in the comments. Time for the secondary camera. Already tested it. Remove the plugs. Remove the light. Unscrew by the 2 little 8mm bolts. I'm kind of sad because this factory seal was still here and it was holding and there was no leakage. You can see that's going right into the cabin. Pretty much this is the camera, and my thought is we'll have to flip the bracket around just to have it tuck under the light better. And I got this heavy duty thick foam from Amazon that's kind of going to help take up the space of the camera. We're just going to clean this out, dry fit it, put it there, and hopefully we'll be able to have our front input show the cargo area.
Infinity.
Bracket in the normal orientation. I think this will work. I was hoping to actually tuck the bracket a whole lot more. I'll play around with it off camera, but I think that's going to be the final setup. Let's take a look at it from the inside. Okay, jumping in, everything's temporarily mocked up. Putting this shit on. I think it just boots so quickly, man. Smartphone link, I'm gonna have to wait for that. And then we could exit out of it. But I've added a shortcut up here for the F camera, front camera. We tap that, and there we go. It's upside down. I can see the cargo area really well. I can see what I'm towing. I just need to flip the camera, or there's a wire you could cut to flip the image. One of the two things. I need to decide on that. So here we have it. Wires tucked away. I wish I didn't have to use the two-way tape to put it on the truck body, but I believe that's the only way I could get it on without actually drilling into the body. To get the camera mounted, this camera comes with a bracket on the top. You could actually see how the half moon bracket sits to that end. And over here on this one, I flipped that bracket over. This one here, not the main one that holds it on, but this little camera bracket. And then I use a Dremel and a sanding disc, and I sanded down the lobes on here. You throw up a picture so you can see the regular one to the one I sanded down. Painted it because this is going to take a lot of weathering. Plug the light back up, and let's see how it fits on there. Tightening it down with that thick insulation, gave it a good snug fit, but it also pushed it way down. I had it pretty much flush at the bottom line of the body, not necessarily the plastic, but the body, and you can see how much it came down. If I ever take it back off, I'm just going to take a cutoff wheel and just nick that off so it'll look a little more presentable, or maybe just bend it. If you bend it in and you go ahead and just stick it on there, maybe it'll hold better. But it's snug. It's very snug. I believe the light also compressing down on it, but the angle is great. I can see my cargo really well now. Let's go ahead. I gotta move this big old thing back into the corner of the driveway. Let's start her up. Look how fast it boots. It's already booted. Let's go ahead and throw it in reverse. Take the brake off. Okay, now it's making me a liar. Why are you... Normally it's faster to go in reverse than that. And I need to figure out how to stop this from coming out. But hit that and you get a full seat. That light is blinding, but take a look at it now that that light's gone. See, there's a rainbow effect. Oh yeah, that's because of this. And we can finally do that. It's all done. Everything's working. Get rid of the peel. Man, look at that screen. That's really nice. Hit that front camera and we can see our cargo. How cool is that? Throw it in reverse. It's gonna flip back. That resolution is really nice. This is a camera that came with the stereo. It's really nice. At nighttime, it doesn't really look grainy at all because it's cranking up the ISO. It looks really bright out. It's really great as a night view camera. Let's go ahead, check out that rear camera. Man, that looks good. You can see some graininess in this one. This is like a regular Android camera that I bought. Move this thing over. Great radio. Oh, looks much better now that it's not compensating for that sunlight. And we can see our cargo. Anything's moving, any problem? Yeah, that sunlight just killing it. This was an awesome project. Very rewarding, bringing the truck into the 21st century. We get our CarPlay, we got our Android Auto. It's wireless too. I have a little wireless charger in here. My first truck, I love it. 96,000 miles. It's a 08, it's a Gen 1. Check out the description for my tow video. Bought a new trailer, gonna start towing a track car. It's pretty cool. Let me know what you think in the comments. I love having the extra visibility in the back. Make sure I can check my cargo. If something's getting loose, it's gonna fall out. I love having a backup camera. I hope you guys liked the video. If you do, please like, share, and comment. It goes a long way. And until next time, I'll see you again.